Welcome everyone. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the electronic data interchange versus email and how EDI works. EDI document transport is far more complex than simple sending email messages or sharing files through a network. These EDI documents are more structured than email. What really differentiates EDI from messaging is its emphasis on the automation of business transactions conducted between organizations. In addition, EDI messages have certain legal status. For instance, if a buyer sends a supplier EDI purchase order that specifies the requirements, time of delivery, and quantity, and the supplier does not uphold its end of the contract, it can be taken to the court with the EDI trading agreement service serving as evidence. So there are some EDI properties which can distinguish from email, that there is typically no human involvement in the processing of the information, as the interface has no software to software orientation. The data is structured in a software understandable way. As compared to electronic mail, the data are not necessarily structured to be software understandable. A human to software interface is involved at a minimum of one end of the interchange. For EDI, the interchange is composed by one software for interpretation by another software. If a reply is involved, it is composed by a software to be interpreted by another software. In contrast with electronic mail, the message is composed by a human and or interpreted by a human, and or a reply is composed by a human and or interpreted by a human. So in EDI, we have no human involvement or interaction as compared to electronic mails. Now let's see how EDI works. So for that we have two figures: information flow without EDI and information flow with EDI, to have a better understanding how it works. The idea behind EDI is very simple. EDI seeks to take a form from a business application, translates the data into a standard electronic format, and transmit it. At the receiving end, the standard format is untranslated into a format that can be read by the recipient's application. Hence, the output from one application becomes the input to another through the computer to computer exchange of information. The result is an elimination of the delays and the error inherited by the paper-based transaction. The benefits of EDI can be seen by comparing the flow of information between organizations before and after its implementation. For this purpose, the purchasing application provides an ideal scenario. In general, EDI has been used extensively in the procurement function to streamline the interaction between the buyer and seller. Other uses of EDI are also available. For example, university uses EDI to exchange transcripts quickly. Auto manufacturing use EDI transmit large engineering design created on a specialized computer. So if you look at those diagrams here, EDI capable computers are involved as compared to the paper based mailroom. So it is giving more advantage to the business. So the information flow when paper documents are shuffled between organizations via the mailroom. When the buyer sends a purchase order to a seller, the relevant data must be extracted from its internal database and recorded on a hard copy. This hard copy is then forwarded to the seller after passing through several intermediate steps. Seller receives information in the form of letters and in some cases a vast number of facsimiles. This information is manually entered into an internal information system of the recipient by data entry operator. This process generates a considerable amount of overhead in labor cost and time delays. The reproduction of information also increases the risk of errors caused by the incorrect data entry. This pervasive practice of converting digital data into hard copy data, this is reconverted into electronic information again on the receiving end generates unnecessary cost. It is quite possible to exchange the information in electronic format by means of EDI. EDI can substantially automate the information flow and facilitate management of business process, which you can see in the information flow with EDI. So it has 9 steps. So when we are talking about the EDI transactions for a purchase, shipment and corresponding payments. So step 1, buyer's computer sends purchase order to seller's computer. Step 2, seller's computer sends purchase order confirmation to the buyer's computer. Step 3, seller computer sends booking request to transport company's computer. Step 4, transport company's computer sends booking confirmation to seller's computer. Step 5, seller's computer sends advance ship notice to buyer's computer. Step 6, transport company's computer sends status to seller's computer. Step 7, buyer's computer sends receipt advice to seller's computer. Step 8, seller's computer send invoice to buyer's computer. And in step 9, buyer's computer sends payment to the seller computer. In sum, firms that are adopting EDI as a fast, inexpensive and safe method of sending invoices, purchase order, customs document, shipping notices and other frequently used business documents. This improves the ability to exchange huge amounts of data in a fast and effective manner, which tends to speed up the business processes. So this is what how the EDI works. Now obviously when there are the benefits of EDI when you are using it into your business. So what are those? It can be a cost and time saving system for many reasons. The automatic transfer at information from computer to computer reduces the need to rekey information and as such reduces costly errors to nearly zero. EDI transactions produce acknowledgements of receipt of data. Many firms are now finding that this acknowledgement can make the invoice obsolete and save many efforts now devoted to acquiring, receiving, and paying for goods. For companies dealing with thousands of suppliers and tens of thousands of purchases orders a year, the savings from EDI are significant. So companies can also pay each other through automated receipt settlements of financial EDI, whereby electronic purchase order acknowledgements and shipping notices provided the data necessary for payment to further reduce the paper load. So reducing paper-based system is one of the benefit that you can have with EDI. So EDI can impact the effort and expenses of a company that devotes to maintaining record, paper-related supplies and other personnel required to maintain all these systems. Electronic transaction take over most of the function of paper form and through automating drastically reduces the time spent to process them. EDI can also reduce postage bills because the amount of paper that no longer needed to be sent. EDI can minimize the time companies spend to identify and resolve inter-business problems. Many such problems come from data entry errors somewhere along the way, and EDI can eliminate many of them. EDI can improve customer service by enabling the quick transfer of business documents and a mark decreased in errors, lend so can fill order faster and by providing an automatic audit trail that frees accounting staff for more productive activities. An example of problem resolution and customer service facilitated by EDI is the vendor stock replenishment initiated by the retailers such as Walmart. This program requires that vendor maintain appropriate inventory level in all stores. With vendor stock replenishment, stores do not run out of product while supplier or distributor wait for a purchase order from the headquarter. Suppliers and distributors send stock as soon the store EDI system report it is necessary and automatically bill the client. It cuts days, even weeks from the order fulfillment cycle and ensure that the product is always on the shelf. The time saving comes from not having to copy and fax mail copies of invoices or purchase orders. Many large manufacturers and retailers with necessary clout and ordering their suppliers to institute an EDI program. Today, when evaluating a new product to carry or a new supplier is used, the ability to implement EDI is a big plus in the rise. The same companies tend to stop doing business with suppliers who do not comply with EDI. Thanks for listening.